Hello everyone, Jojo Boss here, and welcome back to another Population Zero video. Today, what we are going to be doing is all of the must-see and must-know about locations in Population Zero. Uh, in order to actually, find a lot of the materials you need uh, around this game, that only certain locations have it. Let's kick it right off to number one, is water locations. So if I go over to my map here, you can actually see all of the water locations very, very easily. It's all of these blue patches with very luminescent water. And not only do these places hold clean water, unlike all these toxic rivers and stuff like that, but they also hold pearl berries. Pearl berries are good for lowering down your toxicity level after you've been either exposed to a toxic biome, like the one over here, or if you've been sprayed by one of those, I still can't remember what they're called, but the camel looking things with the butterfly wings, and they spray toxins. If you still don't know what I'm talking about, go ahead and check out my part 2 of Population Zero. That explains, what they look like, as well as some other creatures. Yeah, so those are all the water locations. They're pretty much spread out throughout the map, but they're very, very easy to find if you just tap on that M button and look at your map. Alright, moving on to number 2 is the Thorium Cave. So, one of the main missions um, of actually getting your pod is to get some thorium, and I can't tell you how many hours I spent just going between um, this one here, that little place for thorium, and that one there. I just went back and forth because those are the closest things to me, from normal weather to extremely hot. Um, so once you get in the desert, it starts to get up to like 55 degrees Celsius, and it's not good to stay in. But there are actually some routes where you can cool off. So if you actually go inside one of these thorium caves, you'll start to cool off, and you can keep on going. But there is actually a jackpot of thorium. I'm talking like I got at least 70 crystals just from one run of going to this cave. And that's not including just stopping at places on the way there. I probably got at least half of my thorium that I needed for my mission just from going here. Like from stopping there, like starting right here just to fill up on water. I moved to this thorium location. Um, Going past here was a little tricky because obviously you have to go down in that cave. There's a huge drop here, so you have to slowly make your way down and then slowly make your way up back again. But it does give you a chance to cool off, which is nice. It's the normal 20 degrees Celsius in this river here. And then you go up to the other side, another little thorium location right here, and then if you go to the right of it, you're going to see some sticks and stuff blocking your path, so if you just break through there, there's a bunch of thorium in that cave right there. And if you actually keep going, there's a whole little batch of, it's still toxic water, but it's a nice little location, and you can actually go over here and look, and these guys, the skulls that I saw there, are so big that they actually show up on the map. I'm going to pull up a picture right here of what they look like. But if you actually switch back to the map, you can see that they're so massive that they actually pop up on the map. So maybe at one point before all of us were here, um, there were some larger versions of, the kind of big creatures that we see roaming over here. Again, I don't quite remember what the names are of them, but those big, actually, I just go over to here, get the meat, yeah, the Sharim, those guys, the big tentacle creatures. Anyway, moving on, where you guys can find metal, so pop over to the map again. Metal is, I had a very difficult time of finding it, but one good place that I've been able to find a lot of metal and it keeps respawning is the little cryo looking pod here. So if you, from the main entrance, you just go left, you can't get through these rocks, but if you just follow the river here, you're going to get to a really cold biome, and it's the only cold biome I think on the map. I think it takes up like that, like this whole area. I have to remember that. You guys can't see my mouse. Um, but yeah, so right here is where you can find a bunch of metal as well as cryopods, um, and yeah. So I know that there is more stuff to explore when it comes to the cold biome. I'm guessing there's something over here, in which I have to find. Um, but yeah, so that's where you can find a lot of metal and stuff like that, the cryopods. I'm sure they spawn more stuff, but that's what I've been able to pick up in the short time I've known about it. Where to find the Sharims, those are all over here. I only know this because I've died so many times to them. They're all along this coast, and you can actually find a lot of them from like the starting of like this part of the river, and if you just keep on moving up, they just keep spawning all along here. So they're not really hard to find. So I don't know if you guys have known about this. I only just figured this out yesterday, once I completed my first missions, but there's a whole nother place back here. And this is really interesting. I can't wait to figure out what all of this is. I'm actually thinking about doing a lore video here soon. So if you guys are looking for some more lore to, you know, dig deeper, see what really is the storyline here, because I guess there's supposed to be a huge lore to this game, and it's supposed to be amazing. So the toxic location is going to be right here. From the plane, it's around, let me see here, L8. So if you look at L8, you can see that this large thing right here is actually part of the satellite that we originated from, and some toxic part of that ship that we had actually started running down, and it's exposed this whole place to toxicity. So as soon as I went down there, there's two ways to get in, right here and right here, or I guess you could go up and around and see if you can get anything over here. I bet you there's some metal pieces around here too. But I'm gonna pop up a picture right now of what this looks like in the actual game. Sorry the quality isn't amazing. I tried zooming it in, but the frame rate on this game is just not amazing at the moment. But they're supposed to improve that. That's what they said in the patch notes yesterday. So yeah, that's pretty much all of the main locations you guys really should know about. Also, what I thought was very interesting, I explored way up into the desert, and you can actually see this rock wall. So if you guys have seen the massive ass like globe of like lights and stuff like that, it looks like just a globe of lights on a huge tower. Well, I wanted to see you know, what it looked like while doing this locations video, and I couldn't even get in. There's this massive rock wall, you can clearly see it, where it's just protecting it, so there's no way to get through, zero way to get through, and it gets up to like 88 degrees Celsius, 85 degrees Celsius, so it gets insanely hot up there for some reason, and that makes me really curious about, you know, what it is, if it's from our from our like spaceship, wherever we came from, or if it's actually originated from the from this planet. Alright guys, well that's gonna do it for all the tips for today. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to leave a like. If you've enjoyed the past few Population Zeros, feel free to subscribe. If you guys have any more suggestions, like I said, just leave them down in the comments below, and I will make a part 2 of the locations. Alright, well, peace guys.